Hi everybody, welcome to English Express channel. We are here to help you improve your English speaking skill. Our today's lesson will be about part 1. During the video, you can learn information such as speaking parts of IELTS test, how to conduct part 1, possible topics for part 1 question types, and how to answer for basic description question type. So let's start. IELTS speaking test is divided into 3 parts. The criteria described in the marking system is the same for all 3 parts, and the score is awarded according to the candidate's average performance across all 3 parts. If you are new in my channel, you can watch my previous lesson about IELTS speaking. I gave information about marking system in detail in that video. The start of the speaking test. When the candidates enter the interview room, they are asked to sit down and the examiner says, "Good afternoon, my name is blah blah. Can you tell me your full name, please?" In this situation, you don't have to show your language ability. Just you are going to say your full name. That's it. It is for identifying they are interviewing the right person in the document. As we said before, IELTS speaking test has 3 parts. Today we will focus on part 1. Part 1 speaking test lasts for 4 or 5 minutes. Many people call part 1 self-introduction. This is wrong. It covers not only questions about your personal background but also many other topics. Here you can see some possible topics for part 1. Year by year, its number is increasing. The important facts are that all these topics are general and should be familiar to you. Most candidates prepare for their speaking test by preparing specific answers. It seems an almost impossible task to prepare 250 plus answers. Even if this was possible, it would take enormous effort, time, and energy. But there is an effortless way. It's preparing for question types because they are quite limited. For example, let's look at the following questions. Tell me about your hometown. What would you like about your studies? Describe your house, flat. Tell me about your job. Although the questions are on different topics, if you pay attention, they all ask for the same thing, that is, to describe something or somewhere. Basic description is one of the question types of part 1. In this question type, all questions ask to describe somebody, somewhere, or something. Here I'll give you a structure for description question type. You can answer all the description questions using this structure. First of all, begin your answer with Latin phrase. They are like, okay, then, alright, well, you know, actually, right, okay. Well, first of all. Then add a pointing phrase. It is signal to the listener that the first point is coming. For example, the first thing I should mention is that. I could start off by saying that. My initial point would be that. I really need to kick off with the point that. I need to start off by pointing out that. The main thing you need to know is that, and etc. You can use one of them which you like. After that, you're ready to describe your first point. Then you move to your next point with the pointing phrases below. Another point which I could add is that. A second feature which I should mention is that. On top of that, I can also add that. Also, I suppose I should say that. And you can give your third point with these pointing phrases. And I shouldn't forget to mention that. Something else that I need to comment on is that. I guess I could also remark on the fact that. And now, let's try to answer using today's structure. Our question is, describe your hometown. First of all, I'm gonna choose a Latin phrase, and let's pick the phrase, well, you know. Then I'll express my first idea with one of these pointing phrases, and I opt my initial point would be that. Well, you know, my initial point would be that its location. And here we need to explain why location. My hometown is Fergana and it's surrounded by mountains, that's why its nature is captivating. We end up our first information, now we can move to the next one with the second pointing phrase. I choose a second feature which I should mention is that there are many broad gardens that can supply the population with fruits during 4 seasons. If you have more ideas, you can add them with pointing phrases, but I want to finish my speech now by saying, and that's all I can say about my hometown. Through this structure, you can answer all the questions related to basic description. In the next lesson, we will learn about liking questions. Until then, bye-bye.